Iran continues punishing Arab states even after President Trump's ceasefire announcement, escalating regional tensions dramatically. After Israel, Gulf states allege fresh missile attacks from Iran during the fragile two-week truce period. Panic and chaos engulf Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain amid widespread truce confusion and air raid sirens. Israel claimed the first attack immediately after Trump declared the ceasefire, shattering hopes for immediate de-escalation. Iranian missiles slam into Israeli cities, causing widespread destruction and numerous injuries according to eyewitness reports. After losing war momentum, has Trump fled the scene, leaving traditional allies to face Iran's mounting wrath alone? Confusion over the exact timing of the ceasefire between the US and Iran led to the continuation of attacks on April 8th, even after diplomatic announcements had begun to circulate. Hostilities across the Middle East appeared to continue in different sectors, despite the public statement suggesting a move toward de-escalation. The US and Iran did not immediately specify a precise time at which the truce was supposed to take effect, leaving military and regional actors without a shared reference point. This lack of clarity created a dangerous gap between political messaging and the real-time dynamics on the ground, where forces were still engaged in combat operations. Even amid talks of de-escalation, Iran reportedly continued launching strikes across multiple fronts, including missile and drone activity targeting Gulf states. Countries impacted by these ongoing attacks included Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait, and Bahrain, each reporting varying levels of alerts or direct strikes. In Bahrain, authorities said defense teams extinguished a fire at a facility after what they described as an Iranian attack, though the exact extent of the damage remained unclear. Meanwhile, Qatar reported incidents in which debris from intercepted missiles landed in populated or industrial areas, injuring 4 people and raising concerns about secondary effects. In Kuwait and the UAE, additional attacks and emergency alerts were reported, pointing to a still widespread and quickly escalating conflict rather than a clean, immediate pause. Saudi Arabia said its air defense systems intercepted 5 ballistic missiles, underscoring the scale and intensity of the incoming threats directed at its territory. In the UAE, authorities responded to a fire at the Habshan gas field, but the official cause of the blaze was not immediately confirmed, leaving room for speculation about direct targeting versus collateral damage. Israel reported fresh missile attacks from Iran on the night of April 7th to 8th, just as news of a truce was confirmed, claiming the barrages had continued despite public talk of de-escalation. According to Israeli officials, Iran fired 2 to 3 distinct waves of missiles since Trump announced the ceasefire, suggesting that launches continued even after Washington's declaration. The Israeli military said some of the incoming Iranian missiles were successfully intercepted by its air defense systems, according to accounts carried by local media. The IDF also claimed that a number of those missiles were equipped with deadly cluster warheads, designed to break up in mid-air and scatter bomblets over wide urban areas. One ballistic missile attack targeting southern Israel triggered warning sirens across the region, as residents were urged to seek immediate shelter. That particular missile aimed at the south was later intercepted before impact, and authorities reported no injuries in that incident. Soon after, Iran launched additional missiles towards central and northern Israel, according to the IDF, broadening the scope of the latest barrage. Impacts were reported in central Israel, possibly caused by cluster submunitions or falling fragments from intercepted missiles, leading to multiple scattered impact sites. Rescue teams rushed to the areas where debris fell, though initial reports indicated there were no immediate casualties, only material damage. Subsequently, sirens sounded yet again in southern Israel as fresh missiles were detected and tracked inbound, keeping large parts of the country on edge. Earlier on the evening of April 7th, President Donald Trump had confirmed that a ceasefire had been agreed after more than a month of intense war with Iran. Trump announced a suspension of planned new bombing of Iran once a self-imposed deadline for that same day was reached, framing it as a step toward de-escalation. In response, Iran stated that if attacks against it stopped, it would cease defensive operations, indicating a conditional willingness to halt its own strikes. Trump stressed that the truce was contingent on Iran completely, immediately, safely reopening the Strait of Hormuz, tying the pause in fighting to restore global shipping through the key choke point. Tehran said that for the 2-week period, shipping through the Strait of Hormuz would be possible via coordination with its military, signaling that it intended to keep tight control but allow limited passage. Trump said Iran's 10-point proposal was a workable basis on which to negotiate, describing it as a serious framework for moving toward a broader settlement. He added that almost all of the various points of contention had been agreed between the US and Iran, arguing that only a few outstanding issues remained. According to Trump, the 2-week period will allow the agreement to be finalized and consummated, portraying the ceasefire as a window to lock in a more durable deal. For its part, Iran said its decision was based on a US request to negotiate on a broader 15-point proposal. Iran also emphasized that Washington had accepted Tehran's 10-point draft as a framework for discussions. Trump also noted that the truce had been finalized based on talks with Pakistan's Prime Minister and Army Chief, highlighting Islamabad's behind-the-scenes role in mediating between Washington and Tehran.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.